This is what not like Skype, but actually cell phone minutes.
It just redirects them through the VoIP protocol to get around this limitation.
I never knew something like that existed. Are you serious?
Yes.
Because I knew about Skype, but so it actually uses your cell phone minutes too.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you search for voice over IP in the Android marketplace, you need to actually read, because that's what a lot of them are doing. They're redirecting the protocol to deal with that. So you're using your cell phone minutes, but over data.
So any place you have data, any place that you are able to have data, you can use it.
Yeah, it's like you'd have to use the application, but yeah.
Right, but it uses your actual minutes. You don't have to buy a Skype account, buy Skype minutes. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, no, and that's a perfect example of how if you leave a marketplace a little more open and you let developers solve problems that end users are having, oh my God, they actually get addressed. No. It's like, where there's a geek, there's a way, the problem will be solved. It's like...
Think about that solution is not only is that good for the user, but that's good for the cell phone company too, because they still are buying minutes. You know? Unlike, Skype, they're not buying your minutes anymore. With these applications, you're still buying the cell phones company's minutes, so it's good for everybody. That's really awesome. I never knew that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's one of the things. It depends what type of application you're looking for, and that's one thing I've noticed. That's the other big I've got out of people when they come off of iOS onto Android. They're like, there may be a lot more applications on iOS, but most of the applications here actually do something. I mean, yes, there's still 50 flashlight apps, but most of the apps, are to solve a problem like that, and these are applications that wouldn't exist otherwise.
One can make the argument that the majority of because the Android market is more open, you don't really have to be professional. Like I could go in and make an application. A lot of Android applications don't really look as refined as the iPhone ones.
Actually, I have yet to really come across one that has such an unpolished UI. It's some of them may not be ultra sparkly, but they're functional. I have yet to come across one that isn't.
Functional and looking good are totally different things. I mean.
Well, yeah, but it's like the ones that are ugly, they're like Hummer ugly, and that it's one of those. It's like I should hate this, but somehow it just works. It's like, because when you look at a Hummer, it's like this isn't true for an H2 or an H3, but if you look at the original Hummer, it's one of those things. It's so ugly, it's pretty. It's like they somehow managed to nail that. It's the same thing with those apps, and I'm not quite sure if that's just a byproduct of the default templates, or if it's just a happy accident. But it's one of those.
It's just like the original Droid, you purposely don't make it with even corners because you want to give it the industrial look, which I liked. Gotta admit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. The Incredible 2 has that kind of look, and I like that too. But anyway. What I hate about the Android market is because what I hate about it is that I cannot search it unless I'm on an Android phone, apparently.
Well, actually, I thought Google had put that on the cloud somewhere.
I don't see it. I'm here at the Android market, and I cannot, it's just showing me the top free, top paid. I don't see anywhere where I can search.
I remember finding a workaround for that before.
I think you have to be logged into an Android account.
Seriously? Because, I mean, they're a search company, so
hold on.
I'm on android.com/market. I don't know if there's another place I can go to search for applications, because I'd like to see that. Ooh.
I don't know whose phone that was.
I bet it was Leo's.
Sorry about that, just muted my microphone.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not seeing a search bar there.
Yeah. That sucks.
You can look for Android applications from the website appbrain.com.
Yeah, that's it. You have to go through the third-party site.
What's it called?
Appbrain.com.
Appbrain.com.
Yeah, app and then the brain, like your synapses.
Oh, AppBrain. I thought it said AppBrain. Okay, appbrain.com. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous that, you know, the Google's Android market doesn't have search.
I forget what it is, and I don't know if Google's launched it yet or if they're launching it later this year. But Google is building a full, like what you're wanting, a full cloud-based version of the marketplace that is searchable as Sun. It's basically a cloud-based management app. So it all works over HTML5 and everything, and you just drag, and one of the drag things is drag to device, and it'll have all your Android devices there.
Right. And I was actually looking at Google's YouTube channel, and I saw something like that, and then I checked online, and it wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't know if they've actually.
I've heard that's supposed to be implemented.
Yeah, I don't.
Gingerbread, which is supposed to be releasing at the end of this year.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, because Gingerbread is not officially released to all devices yet, and that's a Gingerbread feature. You know, Android 2.2.
Right.
It's one of those. I don't think they've actually launched it yet. I think it's only available to select at this time. It's only available to developers to play with and other things, but it's coming by Christmas. And for all I know, it's going to be here on the marketplace site. They haven't really said how they're doing that, but that exactly what you're talking about is what they're going to do. And I think that'll help, because one of the things that you, like you say, it's you can't search unless you're on an Android device right now, so you don't know if the app's there or not, and that's one of those really useful things.
Yeah, and I mean.
Well, the other thing I'd like to see is like what I'd love to see. I realize Pandora is free, but there are some applications that aren't free that are both on Android and iPhone. And what I'd love to see is if I've bought the application, I switch. I still get to keep the application. I don't have to buy it again.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. In fact, I bet there are a few applications that will do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to the individual developers, but it's, you know, if adjust your price scheme so that when I buy it, I've bought it. And then just allow me a way to verify and get an Android purchase code or something.
Here's the thing. If Android didn't force developers, you know, if Android, you know, if Google's marketplace didn't make it so that all users had the ability to return applications within 24 hours, a huge amount of developers would not allow that. You know, and I've heard developers talking about how much they hate that. And it's just, there's a lot of greedy developers out there who would really just want you to buy it twice. So, yeah, it's definitely would have to be controlled by, but that
well, and honestly, the biggest monkey wrench I see in that is Apple. Not so much not because one of the real reasons on iOS, like you have to buy, like if I subscribe to a newspaper, I have to buy the newspaper website subscription and I have to buy the iPad application, because there's no way for the newspaper to verify that I bought the iPad application and vice versa. It's like there's no way to link in and out of that infrastructure there easily.
away.
You know, I would think if they really wanted to fix that, they'd go through, okay, we see you bought it over here, so we're going to allow you access to the website. I can see them not doing the other way around, but it's their site. They control it. They know who bought the app, I would think.
Yeah, exactly. Do they really want to?
Oh, no, let's blame Apple. It's Apple's fault. It's like...
I'm pretty sure they could do it if they really wanted to, but I think they're okay with having, you know, everyone think that it's a fault with, you know, how buying applications